Hi, I'm Ask Deanna of the syndicated advice column, Ask Deanna, Real People, Real Advice. Now, the first time you saw me, we were talking about self-motivation. We went through some of the tools, some of the situations, but we can always review. To be self-motivated, you need to do your personal inventory. You need to determine, are you happy in the exact place where you are? That's placement of your life. And another thing that you also need to look at is, what do you want to do? You need to seize the moment and really make things matter. And we've also done our personal inventory. So now that brings us up to part 2, a very important critical element when we're trying to be self-motivated. Part 2 of self-motivation brings in some of those critical elements that we have to take into consideration when we're trying to work on a goal, work on ourselves, and when we're trying to remain and be consistently motivated. Self-motivation part 2. This is where we talk about trying to be self-motivated when you're dealing with relationships. Now we're going to look at the 3 phases of being self-motivated with relationships. Of course, we're going to look at the male to female, female to male. We're going to look at the parent, that's right, if you have mother, father, grandfather, etc. And then we're going to look at the little people, the children, because people are going to have a great effect and a lot of impact on your self-motivation. So let's start now. Of course, we'll do the relationship last because that one can be kind of complicated. We'll look at the children second because, hey, if you have children that are small and depending upon you, you absolutely cannot get around it because they need you. And then first, let's look at the parents. If you still have parents, or someone that has assumed a parent role, whether it's a mother, father, grandfather, stepmother, or whoever is filling that maternal or paternal role for you, sometimes parents just don't understand. And what I mean by that is this. We have the older generation, and sometimes the older generation, they are so comfortable with the way things are. If it's not broke, don't fix it. If it doesn't need any glue, then don't touch it, or however that saying may go. A lot of times, if you decide to start doing something different, or if you want to do something out of the ordinary, or at least what is perceived out of the ordinary for you, you may meet some resistance from your parents, or let's just be real here. You may get some unwanted advice. I didn't ask you for this advice. I don't need this advice. Why are you giving me this advice? So be cautious that anytime you're trying something new and something that is going to motivate you and elevate you, you're going to have to hear some lip service from your parents. You can be 45 years old and your mother could be 90. You can be 32 years old and your mother could be 50. You can be 18 years old and your mama can be 42. It doesn't matter. Parents are still parents. And if you're beginning to do something out of the ordinary, they're going to give you advice whether you want it or not. They're going to give you advice whether you need it or not. Just look at it as, hey,